Hey guys, it's Julia. Welcome back to my channel. I'm sorry if my voice is a little bit sexier than it normally sounds.
No.
Because I am currently sick. My throat feels like it's gonna give out any second. That's what she said. I think I sound attractive, but you know what? On camera, I probably sound like a frog, so we don't know. Today's video is the April episode of New Makeup Releases, Favorites, and Fails. If you are new to this series or this channel, basically, this is where I just round up all the new releases that I tried in the month of April, and I share my reviews on everything. It's a really easy way for me to just get all the reviews out of the way and touch on pretty much all the new releases that I tried out. And this month, I tried out some really good shit. I don't know, this was just a really good month for products. I only had a few things I didn't really enjoy, but the majority of things I just got really excited about. And yeah, I'm just super excited to share with you guys a bunch of new releases. I'm sorry for the very minimal basic makeup look today. I just kind of wanted to focus on very fresh, dewy skin. I have a simpler eye look on just because this is, I think, the 4th video in a row that I filmed after coming home from school. So I'm filming in the afternoon and I didn't have time to do an eye look before I lose lights. I think I've rambled more than enough. Full details of this look should be on Instagram already. And without further ado, let's just get right into it before I say something else that's stupid. Last month I actually put up a poll and asked you guys what you most wanted to see me review, and I think I ended up purchasing almost everything then. And this palette won by far, but also I've gotten comments upon comments upon comments asking me to review this palette. I don't think I've ever gotten so many requests to review a certain palette. So I've been trying out the ColourPop Sweet Talk palette and I have many thoughts. This is definitely a very spring-oriented palette. I love the packaging, first of all. It's just very creative. I think they're really stepping it up with the aesthetic of their stuff. I saw this palette on Instagram originally and I died. I was actually really interested to see people getting super excited about this one because normally when a neutral palette drops, people are just like, ew. The reception of this one on social media has been very glowing, so I was excited to try it out because there are some pressed glitters in here. ColourPop recently released some pressed glitters and this is their first ever palette with them in there, so I was pretty excited to try out the formula, and yes! The motherfucking mattes and the shimmers pretty much perform as any other ColourPop palette would. I don't think this formula is quite as good as the 9-pan palettes. So the Just My Luck and It's My Pleasure palettes I reviewed last month, I think these are a little bit better formula than this one. But let's be real, we're all here to talk about the pressed glitters. I didn't really love the pressed glitters that much. I'm not somebody who completely hates pressed glitters. In fact, I do love working with them. These ones, they have a very strange texture to them. They're slippy and they have this kind of weird base, so I feel like if you wear these all over the lid, they will crease. Like even just a medium layer, not even super thick, they're gonna crease. What I've kind of been enjoying doing with this is just doing a light wash of glitter all over the eyes. So I'll pat on like a regular shimmer shade, and then on top of that, I'll take a very small amount on my finger and just pat the glitter on top. Or I can use a glitter glue and it still will crease, but it won't be as bad. But if you're wanting like a solid glitter lid, I don't think this is going to be the best thing. Also, these pull very peachy on me, so I was expecting some good solid like blush tones and pink tone shadows, and these look very peachy on me, which isn't always the most flattering color scheme, but I do think the palette is beautiful and I've actually really enjoyed the looks I've created with this one. Overall, I would say this gets my stamp of approval. It does come with a bit of a learning curve and I wouldn't say it's my favorite ColourPop palette by any means, but I think it's gorgeous, the packaging is stunning, and it's a very spring oriented palette. So this is beautiful, and if you were interested in getting it, I would say go for it because it's $18 and it's ColourPop and it's really pretty. It's really interesting to me how Tarte hypes up some of its releases so much that they do like full brand trips oriented around that one collection, and some things they're just like, yeah, let's put this out and not talk about it ever. But they did an entire trip to Hawaii for the Found Sealer Babasu Multitasking Foundation, and I'm 99% sure it was Raw Beauty Christie who convinced me to buy this because she and I have very similar skin types, but I love her so much. So much. This was advertised to be kind of like a medium coverage, very dewy, very hydrating foundation, and that spoke to my dewy soul. And also Tarte has one of the most impeccable shade matches for my skin tone. Fair Light Neutral in all their foundations is one of my favorite colors on my skin, so I was super excited to try this one out, and this is actually the first thing I've bought from Tarte in about a year and a half. It wasn't even the Shape Tape foundation thing that happened. I just wasn't really liking anything that they released, but I thought they did a really cool job with their newest collection, the High Tides and Good Vibes palette, which I'm planning on buying, but I'm not quite sure when I'm going to do that. Maybe at the VIB sale. And the marketing for this foundation just got me hyped. So I was super excited to try this one. I love this. I think it's really stunning on the skin. Very dewy, so if you don't like dewy skin, this is not going to be for you. But Personally, I love this one. I think it lasts beautifully throughout the day. It just looks so healthy on the skin, and that's just what I've been going for, honestly. Downfall with this one would be that I feel like if I wear it multiple days in a row, it does break me out maybe a little bit. It's probably some of the more like rich hydrating ingredients in here, but I do feel like with this one, you're gonna have to use a pretty nice deep cleansing method to get everything off at the end of the day. But the effect of this one on the skin, I think, is beautiful, and I really like this one. So I will continue to use this one. Is it a holy grail for me? Probably not, but I think it's very similar to the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. So if you really like this one, I think you will love the Concealer. And then right along with Tarte, but on a less serious degree, I really haven't purchased anything super new from Fenty since I think the Diamond Gloss Bomb. I just feel like a lot of their releases, sometimes they drop and I'm just like, what? What the fuck? But I love me a good matte bronzer. I'm such a bronzer host. So when they dropped the new Fenty Beauty Sunstalker bronzers, I just had to. I bought the second lightest shade. In theory, I probably should have bought the lightest shade just because it's marketed towards skin types like mine. But instead, I went for the shade Shady Biz, which is a pretty nice light bronzer anyways. It's such a nice, like, creamy powder texture. It is very easy to blend powder, and I think she did a really good job with the tones of this one. This is kind of like the Benefit Hoola, or maybe like a lighter version of the Benefit Hoola. It can be used as a contour if you want kind of like a nice chiseled but slightly warmer contour, I guess. But it doesn't look super ashy on the skin. It doesn't look too orange either. It's just this perfect kind of like neutral bronzer color. I was just very impressed with this one just because I've been on such a cream kick lately. And the packaging is just beautiful as well. So I think Fenty did a really great job with this rollout. They definitely have a very inclusive shade range of bronzers, which I love to see from them. I feel like they've just been dropping the wackest shit, and I'm glad to see them putting out stuff that's normal. This is the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer, and it's gotten very, very mixed reviews, so I was very scared about this one. I heard a lot of people saying that it broke them out and a lot of people just raving about it, but they do have a sample size available for $15, so I just threw it into my Sephora cart. I have mixed feelings as well. I definitely think it's one of the best like dewy, long-lasting primers, and that's not really something you find a lot. So I love my dewy skin, but also dewy primers are very like hydrating, glowy primers. They don't really do a lot for longevity of your makeup. They kind of just make you look a bit dewier, which I appreciate, but sometimes I want something that's gonna really lock in my makeup, and this I feel like just has this gripping quality that really adheres your makeup to your face. So this is great for long-lasting makeup. It's also great for keeping that nice dewy skin look because a lot of long-lasting primers are matte. Only thing is this does not work with every foundation. So I've tried this one with so many different foundations. I would say it worked like 50% of the time. So far I've found that this works really best with like water-based foundations. I really did not like this one with more like matte foundations or something that has a bit more of a dry texture. So if you are interested in this one, I would say go get a sample at Sephora. Not even this size. I would say ask for a free sample because it might not work with your favorite foundation. Personally, I haven't really noticed it breaking me out, but I do think that it could do that if you do have more sensitive skin. For my big like treat yourself splurge thing of the month, I decided to buy something that I've really been wanting but I couldn't get because it's from the UK. But I really wanted to support one of my favorite influencers. This is the Sosu Kaylee Urban Bible palette. This palette was created by Kaylee MUA. She is one of the most incredible, talented makeup artists. She's from Dublin, Ireland, and I believe Sosu is a Irish brand. They came out with this Urban Bible palette last year, and the color scheme immediately just got me pregnant. And between the color scheme and the tutorials she posted on this palette, I've been wanting this one for months and I just haven't bit the bullet, but this I'm so happy that I bought because it's one of the best formulas. Kaylee is truly one of the queens of colorful eyeshadow looks, particularly warm tones, so I loved some of the warmer tone shades in here. Faith is a really good matte yellow, but my favorite is Sacred Fire. Stunning fiery red shade. It plays really well with Unruly right here, which is kind of like a burgundy, but it blends out to a pink as well. And I really love that eye look. I've also done a look with the purples on here on my Instagram, and I've just been doing like more neutral looks with this one, but these blend incredibly well. And the shimmers are very dimensional, very, very nice foil duochromes. And this, I would say, is ranking in like my top 5 favorite formulas at the moment. I'm very much enjoying this one, and I've been loving it for some nice creative looks. It definitely does lack lighter colors, so if you're wanting something that's gonna be like everyday, soft, this ain't it, sis. But if you love doing colorful eye looks and you want a really bomb formula, this is awesome. Earlier this month, I decided to just burn my income at the altar of Emily Weiss and worship the dewy gods of Glossier. I did buy some new cloud paints. You already know how I feel about those, and they are not new releases, so I won't talk about them right now. But 2 new things I got from them was, first of all, my love, my baby, Glossier Night Shine. I talked about this one as well in the cream products video. This is my favorite cream highlighter of all time. I honestly didn't expect a highlighter from Glossier to be like an actual highlighter, because their skin tint foundation thingy is water, basically, with a tiny, tiny memory of coverage. I was expecting this to be like a nice subtle glow. So when I first put this one on, I was like, why is my cheekbone beautiful. It's a surprisingly kaboom highlighter in a very, very small bottle. It blends like nothing else into the skin. It truly is one of the most blinding but like slightly natural looking highlighters at the same time. This and the Anastasia Amrezy highlighter are my two holy grail highlighters at the moment, and I've just been reaching for this an ungodly amount of times. I also picked up their Zit Stick because I felt like I was really lacking a good spot treatment in my skincare routine, because sometimes I don't have like full-blown acne across my face I need to eliminate. I just have like 1 or 2 breakouts. So right now I'm struggling with one like right over here. And I've actually seen pretty good results with this one. I don't think it's a very immediate fix. I would say it takes maybe 1 to 2 days to kick in. But the formula in here is great. It's benzoyl peroxide, which I find can be a little bit harsher on my skin, but on this one I don't notice any peeling, which I appreciate. I just think it's a really good solid product. It acts as quickly as it possibly could without being super damaging. It also works really well on like emerging things. So sometimes I just like feel tenderness on my chin and I'm like, oh, there's gonna be a zit there in 2 days. So I put this one on it and I feel like it blocks the zit from occurring. My only thing is it's like a clicker pen, so you have to like twist this to get product out. And the first time I legit spent maybe 5 minutes twisting this until product came out. Overall though, Glossier did a good job with me this month. As if Anastasia couldn't appeal themselves to me more in my eyes, had to come out with a dewy setting spray in a glittery gold bottle. Sometimes I just feel personally attacked by Norvina. Anyways, I'm wearing this on my skin right now. This was the last step of my makeup routine. I'm actually wearing the Hourglass Vanish Seamless Foundation right now. So this is a very, very matte foundation. And I've been wearing this face for about 10 hours. So I definitely look very dewy, and I definitely looked very dewy at the beginning of the day, but also I feel like this really did actually set in my makeup. I wouldn't say it's like anything super, super unique. The price on this one is actually surprisingly good for the amount of product you're getting. You're getting 3.4 ounces in here, whereas the Catrice is 1.69. There's a clear advantage with the packaging here. There's not actually like gold glitter in the spray. It's a clear like water type spray, but the packaging on the outside just looks so nice. So I'm excited, especially for the Anastasia foundation that's going to be coming out sometime this year. They're coming out with a dewy foundation and I might go into cardiac arrest. So as I've been subtly phasing out the P. Louise base and discontinuing my support, if you want my statement on that, I have it on Twitter and I'll flash it on screen now. I've been looking for a replacement because, goddamn, I really love that eyeshadow base, and that I wanted something that's A, more affordable, B, more approachable and attainable in the United States. So everyone was kindly recommending the Makeup Revolution Cut Crease Canvas. So I picked this one up at Ulta. I have the white shade. I have like the bone matte shade somewhere, but I don't know where it is. I used it this morning. Well, there's like an applicator brush in here that doesn't really do shit. I kind of just use it to swipe it onto my eyeball and then blend it out a bit. But this I think is a very effective dupe for the P. Louise base. I think things blend out just the same on this one. I think it does bring out that same level of like crazy pigmentation that any wet base would, but it doesn't crease throughout the day, doesn't fade throughout the day. Only thing is you're getting a lot less product in here. This is 0.15 ounces, whereas the P. Louise base is 1 full ounce. So not as good of a deal, but I think the product is better and I feel better supporting this brand. I usually do at least one get ready with me testing out new releases per month. So this month I did one using the Milk Hydro Grip Primer, the Tarte foundation. So if you don't watch those, I do come back and like touch on the final review of the products in this video. And to do skin prep for that video, I actually use the Teamy Detox Green Tea Blend Mask. I've been testing this one out a bit more. I believe it's part of the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty sale this year. This is a new skincare line based around like tea ingredients, I guess. And in the Get Ready With Me, I said this one was a little bit too dry for my skin type. I still stand by that one. This one can be a little bit too detoxifying at times. It definitely does like all the things out of your pores. And it says to leave it on for 10 to 15 minutes. I definitely would err on the side of like 10 minutes. For me, I'm good with around like 8. It dries down then. I feel like I can really wash it off by then. And I've just been mostly enjoying this one on my T-zone. I don't use it all over my face because it's a little bit too dry for me. But if you have like a normal to oily skin, I think this is going to be like a very good dupe of the Glam Glow Super Mud Mask. But again, different skincare products work differently for different skin types, and for me, this is really good for just getting all the gunk out of my pores and just doing a really good deep clean, but I wouldn't use this one as often as it says to. I've also been testing this one out as a spot treatment, and I really like this one. I decided to compare it with the Glossier Zit Stick, and I do think that one does a little bit of a better job, but this I feel like is really good at getting, again, this kind of emerging breakout. So if I feel like I have a zit that's like gonna pop up in a couple days, not one that's already fully formed, I'll put this one on and it just like kind of pulls all the sebum out, which I think is really cool. I believe they did give me a code as well. It's not affiliate, so I won't make any money off of it, but I will flash it on screen and put it in the box below. But overall, it's pretty meh for me, but I think it could work for other people. Ironically, the biggest fail of the month for me was actually probably the most expensive product. I was sent the new Givenchy Haute Couture Everwear. Claims to be a 24-hour wear. satin finish comfort foundation. That's a freaking lie. This is not a satin finish. It's definitely very, very matte. I basically wanted to die. And even if you don't have particularly dry skin, I tried to use this one with like very, very hydrating primers. I used all the hydrating serums I could find, and still I felt like even if I had a dry patch, this one wouldn't necessarily like glide on top of it as I wanted it to. It just kind of clung and emphasized. Also, I didn't even realize this was the foundation last month that caused like all the controversy for the Tarte Shape Tape-esque shade range. Even if you don't have the budget for 50 shades, which if you're Givenchy, you definitely make enough money to have 50 shades. Cover at least like 25 shades, cover the proper range of different colors. The bottle is nice. I do love Givenchy's clothing, and my bag from them is my favorite thing in the world, but this ain't it, sis. Be gone, fuck! This is gonna sound so stupid because it is stupid, but I had a really bad experience with a dermatologist early on in my childhood, and she yelled at me every time I told her I didn't wear sunscreen. So for a really long time, I was just like, you know what? I'm not gonna wear sunscreen.
Stop it. Get some help.
SPF is so important in not only protecting you from like, you know, literal cancer, it really does have an effect later on in your life. So even though my skin won't necessarily see that much of an effect currently, it's gonna be so important 20 years down the line. So in a panic, I was like searching for the best SPF that I could wear because I really wanted something that wasn't going to affect how my makeup wore on top of it. This is the Ossia Derma Anti-Aging Antioxidant Sunscreen. It's SPF 35. This is a Canadian brand. They have a lot of skincare almost every day for the past 2 weeks or so under my makeup, and it's legit one of the only sunscreens I've ever found that doesn't actually affect my makeup. And I wear my makeup for a very, very long time on school days. I first of all don't touch up my makeup throughout the day, but also I put my makeup on at like 5:36 in the morning, and I wear it until like 4 or 5-ish. But if anything, I just want this to be a PSA of wear your damn SPF. It's way too dangerous to not. I finally was able to get my hands on the Lawyer in Training KKW Beauty's concealer. They came out with this last year, so this is not a new release, but I tried it out this month and I thought I would just review it because why not? Really like this one. Nice full coverage concealer, but it's also easy to blend out. And I feel like this does a really great job of brightening. So I have one of the lighter shades. This is number 1. Kim and Mario, they do really, really highlighted under eyes, which I think is something that really changed the way people do their makeup. Is it my favorite concealer? No. Is it a good concealer? Yes. Am I going to continue to use it? Yes. Will I buy it again when it's gone? Probably not.
Know how I feel. Why would you say that?
Tested out the CYO Life Proof Foundation because, again, raw beauty, damn Christy. Also, I was just looking for good recommendations on some good drugstore foundations to use, drugstore focused beauty YouTubers that I really enjoy watching, like this one a lot. So I figured I'd test it out because it seems to have every claim that I like. It's supposed to be kind of like a dewier but like long-lasting foundation, and this is beautiful. I think it's a really nice, like slightly natural finish satiny foundation. It's not too dewy, but it's not like matte either. I do think the undertones are strange, and that's very constant with Boots. Same with number 7, and I feel like the shades of this one and a lot of other people have been saying it's very like gray. So I've been using kind of like a yellow undertone mixer just to make this a bit warmer, and it's been working really well. The formula itself is really nice, and if you do have kind of cooler toned undertones, I think you'll really enjoy this one. So personally, I'm enjoying it. I don't love having to mix my foundation, but I will do it if the formula is good enough, and the formula is good enough. I wasn't really interested in the ColourPop Jelly Much eyeshadows when they first launched, but they came out with some new colors, and big ego when I saw the swatch on Instagram killed me. I've just been kind of loving these like weird duochrome purpley pearly shades. And let me tell you, this with the neutral in the crease but this all over the lid is beautiful, and I've never found like a cream shadow like this that looks wet on the eyes but doesn't crease throughout the day. It's definitely one of the more unique products on the market. I don't really think there's anything that really is the same as this, and the effect that this gives on the eyes is stunning. Finally, the last thing I want to share my review on was the Carity Smoky Palette. This I talked about a little bit in the pink eyeshadows video, but I've had a lot of requests to try out this formula because it is an indie brand, and it's one of the more popular indie brands, I guess. I really like the matte formula. I do not like the shimmers at all, so I kind of wish I'd bought the regular all matte palette because they do have an all matte rainbow palette, which I probably should have bought, but I wanted to try out both formulas, so I bought the smoky one. As far as indie brands go, this one is more affordable, and I think the matte formula is very creamy. They do take a bit more building, but they blend really easily, and I talked about the formula a lot in the pink eyeshadows video. So but overall, this makes me want to try more things from Carity. Definitely more mattes, probably no more shimmers. Alright guys, that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a long one, and I tried a lot of new things. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. I think this is a pretty good month, so I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you are subscribed down below, and also follow me on Instagram to see makeup looks like this posted fairly regularly? I don't know. I don't really know. And if you made it to the very end of this video, I love you so incredibly much. You get the bonus me because loyalty is an underrated quality and you have it.